Alright man, what's up YouTube? Another free picks video I got for you right here. But this video isn't going to be about the NBA, it's going to be about the NFL. And I am so excited because I profit more in the NFL than any other sport. And as you can see right here, last Saturday we profited on a little 3x. Made a decent amount of money, put 100 on it, profited 390, something slight, but obviously you can make a decent amount of profit if you're hitting bets like that. Today we're going to be talking about the Saturday divisional games, and I'm going to be giving you 5 free picks that I'm all super confident in. I'm not going to sit here and waste your time. I'm going to jump right into the video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the picks, and I'm going to explain exactly why I like each one of them. All right, so let's head over to Prizepicks, and the first pick that I like here is that guy, David Montgomery, under rushing plus receiving yards. Now, his line earlier was at 62 or 63.5. I can't exactly remember, but I like it still at 60.5. I think this is way too high of a line for a guy coming off a very bad injury and a guy that's going to be sharing carries with Jahmyr Gibbs, who has been going absolutely crazy ever since he's gotten the full workload. I expect David Montgomery to play a little bit on the goal line and maybe in short yardage situations, but besides that, I don't see him getting on the field much, not because he's a bad player or anything, but simply because Jahmyr Gibbs is that good, and when Jahmyr is on the field, the offense is so much more explosive. So I think, yeah, David Montgomery might have 30 yards rushing, he might have 40 yards rushing, but I don't expect him to be in much on passing downs unless they got a long ways to go, and I also don't expect him to be in on normal rundowns unless it's short yardage. I think the sports books are undervaluing how big of an injury he had, so I'm taking this under all day long. I think it's going to hit really easily. I'm really not too worried about it at all. So that right there is my first pick. Now let's move on to the second pick, and in the second pick I have that guy Xavier Worthy going over his receptions at 5. As you can see right here, he's hit over 5 receptions 3 games in a row, and he's also been right at the line in 2 of the games. So I think this is a really good pick to take because as the season has gone on, we've seen the Chiefs use him more and more, and they've got a lot of value out of using him, so I don't expect them to stop doing that anytime soon. He's one of those guys that gets a lot of receptions on screens and bubbles. He doesn't have to do much. He just catches the ball at the line of scrimmage or 1 yard down the field, and if he gets 3 or 4 of those a game, I can almost guarantee you he's going to hit this over, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen. Like I said, he's been used more and more throughout the season, and you can literally see it right here on the chart. 5 receptions, then it goes up to 6, then 7, then 8, and while yeah, he probably won't have 8 against the Texans defense, I do think he'll have at least 5, but probably 6 or 7, somewhere in that range, and I really do think this over crushes, especially since this game probably won't be a blowout because the Chiefs don't blow anyone out. So that's my second pick. Now, my third pick here, we're going to go back to the Lions, and I know it's not very good to bet on multiple players in the same game, but this makes a lot of sense. I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs over rushing yards. I took David Montgomery's under here, if you remember, and I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs over on rushing. Jahmyr Gibbs, ever since he started getting the full workload, has been going absolutely crazy, but now the books are thinking he's going to get brought back some because David Montgomery is back. But what I just tell you a few seconds ago, I don't think David Montgomery is going to get the snaps that most people think, which means Jahmyr Gibbs should be able to hit this line pretty easily. Not to mention, the Commanders have the 3rd worst run defense in the entire NFL, and the Lions will probably be ahead in this game for the majority of the time. So if those 2 things happen, he's not only going to get a lot of carries, but he's also going to get a lot of those carries against a very bad run defense, which means he should be extremely effective, and he should hit this mark as long as he gets 14 or 15 carries, in my opinion. He's just benefited this offense too much for his production to go down, especially in the playoffs. So I love taking this over right here. I think it's going to crush. I honestly would probably take this line up to 95 because I really do think he's probably going to have over 100 yards rushing, and if he does that, obviously this is going to be a really successful pick, and that puts us at 3 picks right here that I like a lot. Now, before we get into my last 2 picks that I like the most, I do want to show you something right here. I'm going to pop up on the left and the right side of the screen, Dabble and Sleeper, because if you just go use my code on either one of these apps, number one, I'm going to give you free VIP, where I'm going to give a ton more NFL plays as the games get closer and closer, and then also, if you go sign up with Dabble, they're going to give you a free 25 with no deposit necessary, as you see right here, and then Sleeper is also giving a super good deal right now. If you go deposit the minimum amount, which I think is $10, and you play just 5 of it, you'll get $55 back to play with, which really is one of the best promos that I've ever seen. So if you use my code, you're not only going to get free VIP, but you're also going to get some of the best promo deals that I've ever seen. If you do end up using my code, just let me know in the comments below. I'll shoot you a message, and we can get you that free VIP. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump back in to my 4th pick that I also like a lot. This pick might surprise some people, but it's going to be Travis Kelce under his receiving yards. I like this line a lot right here because once again, I think the books are overestimating what Travis Kelce is going to do. As you can see right here, he's only hit this line 2 out of his last 3 games. And while, yeah, I know it's a playoff game and Travis Kelce usually goes off in the playoffs, the Texans have a top 10 defense against the pass, and he also didn't go over against the Texans the last time they played. You can see right here that he only had 30 yards the last time the Texans played, and that's because they did a pretty good job of covering him up. It's not like this game was a blowout or anything. The game was close for the majority of it, but he still only had 30 yards, so I expect the Texans to be able to do the same thing again, and that'll put him under this mark, and that's why I like this less. Like I said, I know it's the playoffs. I know he usually goes off in the playoffs, but he just played Houston 2 weeks ago. He didn't hit this mark, and they're one of the best pass defenses in the NFL, so I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to throw the ball wherever they want against them. So take this under. That's my 4th pick. And then my 5th pick is the last pick and my favorite pick, and it's Jayden Daniels to go over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Jayden Daniels, if you didn't know, has hit this line in 6 of his last 7 games, and the only game he didn't hit it in was against Dallas right here, but he only played in the first half. So he's been hitting this line consistently ever since the second half of the season, so I love this line a lot, especially when you consider that the Detroit Lions have the 3rd worst passing defense in the entire NFL, and the Commanders are probably going to be playing behind, or this game is going to be a shootout, which means the Commanders are going to have to throw the ball a lot. They're going to have to rely on Jayden Daniels, especially in the red zone, because as we all know, the Commanders cannot run the ball very well. And if they can't run the ball, they only have one option to do in the red zone, and that's throw it. And that's why I think Jayden Daniels hits this mark pretty easily, even if the touchdowns come in garbage time. This is obviously a demon play on Prizepicks, and on most other apps, you're going to get a big-time payout for it. So I love this pick right here. Now, when you look at all these 5 picks, I probably wouldn't do them all in a 5-leg like this because it's less likely to hit, but I would pair 2 and 2 together or pair 3 and 2 together to give yourself a better chance to hit. And if you hit both of them, great, you made a lot of money. If you hit one of them, though, you still profited, and that's what we're trying to do. I think I gave great reasonings for each one of these picks, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you like free pick videos like this, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to post them every single day. I'm going to post my Sunday NFL playoff game picks as well soon, so come back for that. And until next time, let's print some money.